everyone, and welcome. I have teamed up with Shell for this video, and this is a very special video because this is my last road trip I will be taking in my Honda S2000. And not only that, it's with some really great people. So Shell has brought together myself, Eric the Car Guy, Chris Fix, Charles from Humble Mechanic, and Matt Moran Motoring together for a road trip here to go check out the Indy 500. So we all brought our cars here to Cincinnati, and then we're going to be driving to the Indy 500, the 5 of us. And this is all part of Shell launching their new formulation of Shell V-Power Nitro Plus, which started development in 2015 and is now launching here in 2019. Now, I don't know if you guys knew about this, but Honda also puts a little something called VTEC in their engines, and the sound is actually quite spectacular from this little 2-liter engine. All right, how awesome is this? We are about to get police escort to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So we're actually going to be parking inside of the Indy 500 track, and we're going to be parking outside of the museum. So this should be pretty sweet. Police escort on the way there. I'm sure we'll upset some people on the way by skipping all of the traffic and just having this awesome fellow right here take us in. This is sick. Stay close, stay safe. Those are my instructions. Here we go. They're just shutting down intersections for us. This is pretty wild. Yes, sir. So why would I be selling my S2000? Well, you know, I've had it for almost 3 years now, and I feel like it's simply run its course. I think it's in the perfect spot where it's at. I don't think it needs additional modification, or it's going to start to take away from the drivability. I haven't touched the stock suspension. I think it has an excellent stock suspension. Same wheels, stock wheels, so OE wheel size. They're just powder coated. What I've done, it's supercharged, so it's got about 80 more horsepower over stock. Very low boost. It's running on the stock ECU with a little piggyback ECU, stock injectors, completely emissions compliant, so just about 80 wheel horsepower over stock. And it's pretty special, you know, they don't really make cars like this, revving to 9,000 RPM, forged internals, you know, aluminum forged pistons, steel forged connecting rods, carbon fiber and aluminum composite cylinder liner. No traction control, no stability control. You know, you're the driver. You got to correct it if you're messing up. Rear wheel drive, limited slip differential. I actually changed out the rear diff to a 4.44 rather than the stock 4.1, so it keeps the RPM even higher. On the highway at about 70 miles an hour, it's at 4,000 RPM, which can get a little old. Titanium exhaust, took out 35 pounds, so very cool. Not, you know, much of a power gain from that titanium exhaust, but more of a weight thing. This thing weighing about 2,800 pounds, a little bit more with the addition of the supercharger, even though I took out 35 pounds with that exhaust. So kind of to help compensate for it. This is just bizarre, breaking all the traffic laws and doing so on camera with a police escort. But like I said, I feel like I've run the course with this project. I've done all kinds of different tests, whether it's with tires, brakes, whether or not this thing has a hot air intake. I have done different modifications as I've started to go through. I've done, you know, DIYs, how to change out different fluids in this car, some of the more simple repairs on it. So I've done quite a bit. Over 40 videos on this car, so you know, I feel like it's time for me to switch things up. And it's not that, you know, I really don't get that attached to cars. I love this thing. I think this is truly one of the greatest machines ever built. It is a phenomenal car, but I don't get attached. Like, I don't miss my Integra, even though I loved that car, and I don't think I'll miss this S2000 either, even though I put a good amount of time and work into it, and certainly money as well. But you know, I enjoy changing it up, getting new different things, and just trying to continue to learn. That's what the whole premise of this channel started on, was learning. And man, it is just so cool to be here with these four guys, Shell bringing us together. In fact, Shell's a big part of the reason why we all know each other. We've all met at previous Shell events. I met Charles through a Shell event, did like an engine building contest back in the day with Eric the Car Guy, still on the channel if you want to check out that video. So Shell has really brought us together, and it's very cool that they brought all of our cars together in the same place. And here we are getting a police escort to the Indy 500. How sweet is this? Personally, I feel like this is kind of rude. We're just telling everyone to get out of our way so we can go, I don't know, hang out at the Indy Motor Speedway. But it is cool. I can't deny that. It is a very unique thing to have a police escort. It's like, I guess it's like the road equivalent of flying a private jet, because this is my private car and I'm basically getting a private escort all the way to where I need to go. Yes, pardon us, we have important business to do. Excuse us, very important business to attend to. Thank you, sir, for holding off all traffic. We have important business to attend to. You know, if I had to say what was my favorite memory with this S2000, really it was putting in the supercharger with Charles. It was so much fun. It was quite an experience, learning a lot for me. That guy works super fast. I would like look at the next item on the to-do list and I'd be like, so Charles, next we got it. And he's like, yeah, Jason, that's done. And so that was a little embarrassing, I guess, on my part, but he was a professional mechanic for 13 years, so you know he knows what he's doing. And I did a bunch of math problems in college, so I guess that's to say that I don't know what I'm doing that much in a garage. I enjoy learning, so that's what I try to do. But as far as being a professional at it, no, and no. So it was very cool. Charles came over for a week. We spent that week in my garage and many parts stores for all the problems that pop up when you are working on a project, and you know you run into things like rust and bolt snapping and all kinds of issues that you don't want to happen, but of course will happen. And it was just so much fun, and it wasn't even driving the car, you know, but it's hanging out with Charles. I really love that dude. He's one of my best friends, and putting the supercharger in with him was quite enjoyable. So really good time, and it's pretty special to be here with him doing this little police lap. There he is right in front of us with this R32, which actually just sounds awesome. All of the cars, in fact, here sound awesome, except for this one, unless I'm over about 6,000 RPM and full throttle. If I'm at partial throttle and at these low RPM, you know, not a whole lot of noise. Look at all of this traffic that we are literally just saying, nope, we're just gonna skip by you, if you don't mind. This is just wild. It's unfair. The world is unjust. But anyways, I'm having a good time. I guess that's probably the problem. Indy Motor Speedway, here we go. We're going out the exit. So hopefully I'll get in a little interview with these guys while I'm here. Nothing serious, because if you're with a group of friends, you should talk a little trash. So that's the plan. See if we can get some interviews in here. So we're here in the car with Charles. Charles drives a Volkswagen, so I mean the questions are obvious. We all know where this is going.
Yep.
So I just want to see you start it up, and I'm going to look in right here.
All right, so here we go. Uh-oh.
Oh. Charles, it died.
I can't even keep it running. So what was your question?
So I was going to ask if you had a check engine light on, but your car doesn't even turn on, huh?
It seems to be past the point of check engine light to it's so broke there's no check engine light.
So Charles, I got a question. How many Volkswagen technicians does it take to fix a Honda's check engine light?
Oh, trick question. Hondas don't have check engine lights.
Charles, you ruined the joke.
Oh, okay. Well, ask it again, and I'll do a better one.
So Charles finally got it running, and what do you know?
Bum, 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 bum. 2 lights for the price of 1.
Eric, what are you driving on this road trip?
I am driving a 1979 Ford Fairmont that has been modified.
And so I'm curious, why is it, do you think, that you have the oldest car out of the group?
Jason, I realize you're trying to dig at my age, but you're the guy with gray hair.
So Matt, I see you brought your Mustang here. It's looking really good. I really like how you removed the decals and you kind of blacked it out. It looks really cool how it is.
You know, it just kind of comes like that from the factory, but yeah, I like it. It's really a cool look.
Oh, so like what have you done to it?
Nothing.
Well, that's fair. I do actually like my Tesla, and it's pretty much just straight from the factory.
You know, thinking of your Tesla though, I got a flat tire just last week.
Oh, interesting.
And, you know, it just was a quick little thing. They just pumped up the tire with some air, plugged it, and it was good. I didn't destroy 2 wheels like someone else I've heard of.
I see where this, yep. Thank you for reminding me about that.
Hey guys, Chris Fix here. How's it going, Jason?
Chris, thank you so much for joining me for a quick little chat right here. Usually I think the cameras are switched around, but it's fine, it's whatever. I just got a quick question for you. If you and I were to face off, you know, let's face it, me facing you, my S2000, your Mustang, who's going to be, you know, I mean, it's not even really a question, Chris. I'm going to be faster.
No.
Chris, face the facts. I'm going to win that race. Now, it just so happens that very shortly after challenging Chris to this race, we happen to be facing off against each other as we both worked our way through the bracket for the final face-off in a racing simulator. And to no surprise, Chris destroyed me. So he won quite handily in that race, so congratulations, Chris. I'm not bitter about it. I don't have great excuses for why I lost. However, he was wearing a racing helmet, and I was not wearing a racing helmet, and I feel like if anyone's going to win a racing simulator, it's whoever's wearing the racing helmet. So I believe that played a part, but I can't say for certain. That's the best excuse I have. Now, this is Engineering Explained, so there's going to be a whiteboard and there's going to be some educational material in this video. So we are going to learn about fuels, in this case, Shell V-Power Nitro Plus, which the latest formulation started development in 2015 and is now being launched in 2019. And so with this fuel, the goal is to protect against gunk, wear, corrosion, and friction. In this video, we're going to be focusing on the friction aspect, as this is the newest element of this fuel, of this newest formulation of the fuel. And so you might think, you know, what is the need for a friction fighting element of a fuel? And so today's fuel economy standards, of course, fuel economy is everything. So if there is a way to reduce loss through heat, in any way possible, it is worth doing. And so in this case, they're trying to reduce friction within the engine using the fuel. And you might think, well, isn't that the oil's job? And actually, from a chemical standpoint, the additives used in the fuel to help reduce friction actually behave somewhat similarly to some additives used in oils. And so how these work, and now instead of simply having, you know, bottom-up protection with your oil sprayers between your piston and your cylinder wall, now you also have that top-down protection from the fuel as well. And so how do these friction-reducing molecules actually work? So these are included within that additive package, and the molecule itself has a polar head. You can think of it somewhat similar to a magnet. Essentially, it's attracted to metals. And so this polar head wants to go seek out metals, and then attached to that polar head is a hydrocarbon tail. So as the fuel is sprayed in, these friction-reducing molecules want to stick to the cylinder walls as well as the pistons. And so that polar head attaches to that wall, and then you have that hydrocarbon tail, which is essentially an oil, creating this barrier so that now you have a barrier between a metal-on-metal contact point to help reduce that friction. Now, this is particularly important above that top piston ring because that top piston ring is going to be the most oil-starved. And so as combustion continues to occur, of course, you continue to inject more fuel, and you're constantly replenishing this source of these friction-reducing molecules to create that barrier and help reduce friction. Now, a quick comment, port-injected engines are going to have better protection against deposits building up on those intake valves because that fuel injector is going to help clean off those intake valves as your engine is running. Now, that's why you may see in many modern engines, they'll have direct and port injection, so you can kind of have the benefits of both while still maintaining clean intake valves. Now, which fuel should you use in your car? And you might think Shell would always say, you know, use premium fuel no matter what. But in fact, they don't. They go with whatever the manufacturer recommends. So if your manufacturer recommends regular octane gas, that's what you should use. If your manufacturer recommends premium gas, that's what you should use. And if they require premium gas, then you definitely should use it because that means you could run into knock if you use too low of an octane fuel. So they have these same additives in all the different, you know, regular, mid-octane, or high-octane fuels. The difference will simply be in the percentages used. So the premium fuel is going to have the highest percentage of these additives within it. So it was an absolutely incredible weekend. I had so much fun hanging out with everyone. Thank you so much to Shell for putting all this together and sponsoring this video. If you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below.